Okay, I've been studying up on this recipe for quite a while. This cookbook's 20 years old, and I make little adjustments to it and tweak it. So finally, the base of it resembles it, but it does not resemble it enough to go by this recipe. I have my own that I've written. So I'm going over here with all the ingredients. First of all, I'm going to talk about raisins. Now these raisins almost look like rehydrated grapes, don't they? That's because they kind of are. I took the box raisins and put them in a bowl, covered them with 1 cup of hot boiling water and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Not baking powder, but baking soda, and let them soak until they cooled down. Then I drained them, and what I got was a 1/2 cup of liquid. All right, now I'm going to replace that liquid with a 1/2 cup of whole milk. So that's what we're going to do first. You have to do this step first, okay? And after it cools down, you can make the rest of the cake. This is a thick batter. It's almost like a muffin mix. I'm going to put 2 cups of self-rising flour in the mix, okay? I'm going to put, let's see, 3 eggs. Do they look like eggs? No, they're egg yolks. Let me tell you about this ingredient here. You have to separate the eggs. Now there are 5 egg whites, but only 3 egg yolks. So the batter takes 3 egg yolks, and the rest of the egg whites I'm putting over here to the side because we're going to use those in a cooked boiled icing. Here we have Duke's mayonnaise. All right, and that's 3/4 of a cup that I put right there. And so I'm going to put that in, and hold on, plop it in there. Okay, had to do the plunger with one hand. That's kind of difficult. So I'm wiping the bottom of this plunger thing off on the side of the scraper. Ta-da, it's clean. But I like using these things for peanut butter, anything sticky, shortening. Okay, so we've got that in. We're going to put 1 1/4 cups of sugar. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and slowly beat it around just to incorporate it so we don't get a whoof of flour. All right, just until everything's kind of come together a little bit and I don't see plain white flour. All right, at that point, I lift it back up, and I'm going to put the 1/2 cup of milk. Okay, this adds moisture. And I'm going to put all of the rehydrated raisins. Okay. And what are we missing? We got raisins that were rehydrated with the boiling water and the baking soda, 1 1/4 cups of sugar, 2 cups of self-rising flour, 3/4 cup of mayo, and 3 egg yolks. I know what I forgot, y'all. Pecans. We've got 1 cup of chopped pecans. Okay. And I like to put a 1/2 cup of good vanilla. Madagascar good vanilla. So we're going to beat this up. Okay. I'm going to scrape down from the sides. All around. Now, if you've got one of those mixers that's a hand mixer, just stop and scrape the sides real good. Scrape it off of the beaters as much as you can, because that holds stuff, especially. Okay. You ain't lived, y'all, until you've made a cake with one hand. I'm going to beat it just about 30 more seconds to incorporate everything. Not long. Okay. That's good. That's together. And I'm going to get this out and separate it into 3 cake pans. Now, when you're talking about cake pans, I've just got 3 dark cake pans. So I bake this at 325. Anytime I'm baking anything in a dark pan, if it says 350, I boot it down 25 degrees. So now I have thickened up my cake release. I do it a little thicker on the bottoms because these raisins want to stick. Especially. So, hold on a second. I'll show you this all evened out. Okay, y'all. I have equally divided this up into 3 pans, and I'm going to put it in the oven for about 18 minutes at 325, and then we're going to check it. okay? Okie doke, I just took them out of the oven. They are starting to pull away from the cake pan. Can you see that? And they're a little darker because they have those raisins in them that makes it a little darker. So it's got pecans and raisins. And essentially that's what this is, a giant pecan raisin cake. It's gonna have that fluffy marshmallow icing in it. So I'm gonna let them sit in this pan, or these pans, for about 10 minutes. Okay, so that they'll cool. And then I'm gonna take a plastic flat edge knife or separating thing, I don't know what to call it, and go around the edges, and I'll show you that in a minute. Okay guys, do you see that they have come out really nicely using my cake release? I'm going to show you the method that I do it. Now, when the raisins hit the pan, okay, let me show you. That almost stuck and messed my layer up, and you've really got to lay that goop on, or the homemade cake release, I call it goop for short, and lay it on thick at the bottom so that those raisins do not stick, okay? I can't find anything else to use that does this, so we are going to put that cake pan away. I'm going to show you what I did to get the rest of them out. This is my own little personal trick. I've got a flat edge, little plastic knife kind of thing, and I go all the way around. You know what works too? A little cheap plastic knife from McDonald's, or one of those to-go silverware packets. And I just kind of lift it up on the side just a little bit, not a lot, just a little, just a tiny, to give it a little ways. Now, what I do now is my own little technique. What I'm going to do is pick it up and throw it and kind of forcefully put it on the pan. Watch. Do you hear? You heard it kind of fall? I'm going to show you why I do that. Oh, shoot, poop. One-handed is not fun. Look at that. You see how pretty it comes out? Every time, y'all. Every time. Whoop, whoop. So these have to cool the rest of the way, and they are going to cool on these cooling racks probably a good hour. And then we're going to make some 7-minute fluffy white mountain icing and put this cake together. And it's going to be a raisin pecan cake with the sweetest, fluffiest icing you ever saw. Thank you. And this, my friends, is the finished product. A beautiful 3-layer scratch-made mayonnaise cake with this beautiful, fluffy, delicious, marshmallowy, whipped divinity icing, or we just call it 7-minute icing. Now you can make this 7-minute icing, excuse me, out of brown sugar as well, and that just has a darker color, like a caramel looking color really. But anyway, this is being boxed up to take to a friend. If you wanted to get extra fancy, you could make 2 of these recipes and make 6 layers and make a tall mayonnaise cake, but that would be double everything in 6 layers. God bless you. Take care. Please like, subscribe, and love this channel, and come back for more. I'll teach you my secrets of my Southern home cooking. God bless you. Bye-bye.